Hey everyone, welcome back to the breakdown. Today we are breaking down wakeboards. So you're in the market for a brand new wakeboard, but you're not sure which one to get because there's a million different wakeboards out there, different shapes, sizes, constructions, all the rest of it. I'm here to tell you and break it down to make it really easy and simple to figure out what board you should jump onto. First thing we need to look at when we're choosing what wakeboard we're going for is where we're riding. Are you riding at the cable park or are you riding behind the boat? These are two very different boards. So if you're riding behind the boat, this video is for you. We'll be coming out with a cable video later in the summer, so stay tuned for that. But we want to go for a boat board because they're a lot stiffer. They're normally made of a lightweight foam core with either fiberglass or carbon fiber laminate over the top. So they're a lot stiffer, a lot more responsive compared to our wood core cable boards. The next thing we need to look at is our skill level. So we don't want to put up an absolute beginner on a pro model board because that's going to end up in a lot of falls, frustration, and ultimately probably losing love for the sport. So we want to make sure we're on the right skill level. And then we also want to size our boards correctly. So our bigger, taller and heavier riders need to be on a bigger board and our smaller, shorter riders need to be on a smaller board. So when we're talking wakeboarding, there's a few terms that get thrown around that describe the shape of a board. The first of which is rocker line. So rocker line is the curve of the board. So it's the line at which the board rocks on if you were to put it flat on the ground. So we have three main types of rocker lines. First of which is continuous. So this board here is a continuous rocker. You can see the smooth continuous bow throughout the entire board. This is going to aid consistent pop off the wake. So it's going to be very consistent. It's also going to have smooth transitions from your toe side to your heel side, as well as it's going to be very smooth and have very good top water speed. Our second rocker line is a 3-stage rocker line. So that means there's 3 parts to the line of the board. So there's a big flat spot between the feet. So if this board was to be a 3-stage rocker, there'd be a flat spot between the feet that's going to sit the board deeper in the water, and it's also going to provide more pop and aggression off the wake. So lastly, we have our hybrid rocker lines. Now, these are a blend of both worlds. So you get the best of a 3-stage as well as the best of a continuous rocker. So you're going to have that nice vertical pop off the wake from a 3-stage rocker line, but then you're going to have consistency and smooth transitions and good glide speed from a continuous rocker. So next up is base design. So the base of the board is the bottom of the board that's in contact with the water. So base design affects a lot of things like traction, how stable it is on edge changes, as well as how forgiving it is on landings. So moving on from our base design, we then look at tip and tail shapes. So our rounded tip and tail shapes are going to provide a little bit less pop, but give you a nice soft landing. Then we look at our squared off tip and tails. These are going to give you aggression and pop off the wake, but going to be a little bit harder on our landings. And then we have boards like our diamonds or our swallowtail boards, which are a bit of a hybrid that combine the best of both worlds. So you get the nice soft landings of a rounded tip tail, but then you get that vertical lift off the wake from a squared off tip tail. So lastly, just breaking down our features are our fins. So they come in 2 main types. We have our center fins and our edge fins. Our center fins provide heaps of stability for our beginner riders. And then we have our edge fins. So our edge fins are going to help our board come around through the turn and get some bite and grip into the wake. So you have different shapes and sizes of edge fins. Our more rounded fins will provide a looser, skatier feel, whereas our sharp fins will give you more aggression and grip into the wake. Those are some of the terms you're going to hear when talking wakeboarding. But to figure out what board is best for you, we want to look at our skill level. So skill level, beginner, intermediate, advanced. Super easy to remember, makes it easy for you to decide what board is most suited to you. So in terms of our beginner boards, the characteristics that kind of is seen across the range is big center fins, channeling and chimes through the base of the board to aid traction. It's going to help us learn how to edge the board toe side, so weight over our toes going towards our toes, and then heel side, so going towards our heels. As well as they're made in very forgiving construction. So they're normally fiberglass with a very forgiving polyurethane foam core. You'll also see with these beginner boards that our rocker lines are fairly subtle. So what this means is the rocker is fairly flat, This is going to provide forgiveness. It's going to give you smooth, predictable pop off the wake, and it's going to give you consistent, smooth edge changes, which is what we want as a beginner. So moving on to our intermediate boards, we start to see more aggressive rocker lines. So the rocker lines are going to be a lot more curved, providing more pop off the wake, and they really start dialing in what you want out of the board. Most of our intermediate boards will lose the center fin to provide more forgiveness when coming down off a jump. You also see less channeling through the base to provide a cleaner release off the wake. So these boards are perfect for those progressing riders that feel comfortable jumping wake to wake and edging the board toe side and heel side. So finally, we have our advanced boards. Now, these are for those that are looking to take their riding to the next level and really one up their game. These boards are made from very lightweight, responsive materials such as carbon fiber and lightweight foams. This is going to give you the next step up in your riding. When looking at our advanced boards, there's a heap of different shapes and sizes, and one isn't necessarily better than the other. Each one of these boards provides something specific that the rider wants. As an advanced rider, you know exactly what you want out of a board. So whether that's a hard charging 3-stage that's really aggressive into the wake, so you want a hard charging board, or something that's a little bit more loose and mellow for a freestyle ride, these boards really cater to specific styles of riding. At the end of the day, there's a board out there for everyone. So we really hope that this has helped. If you've got more questions, feel free to contact our friendly staff here at Waterskiers World. Otherwise, if you're in the Brisbane area, come in a store, jump on a demo. We have a huge range of demo boards, and you can really dial in what you want out of a board, and we'll get you on the right deck this summer.